Well, it has been a wonderful winter day. Of course, the only problem is we're 19 days away from meteorological winter. Hi, folks. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Thanks for logging on to our latest forecast update. It is about 9 p.m. on November the 13th, 2014. We're sponsored tonight by Metal Magic in Washington. You can give Chad a call, 698-8555 for all of your paintless tin repair needs. And be sure to tell them that Southern Indiana Weather sent you, folks. Still got some lingering snow showers around the area. Boy, it's been pretty to look out the window today and see that snow, but of course, the temperatures, well, temperatures are a different story. They're not exactly so pretty. Overlay the temperatures on here, and you can see that we are falling back into the mid-20s sort of across the area with those snow showers continuing on. Let me take the radar off and just throw temperatures on. Let me zoom out across the nation, folks. You can just see how brutally cold the entire nation is here. I mean, it's, I guess this is where you don't want to be up here. This is just barbaric cold for, I mean, it's November. It's not even the exact middle of November yet, and we're already facing this kind of cold. And of course, this is not the polar vortex, by the way, as you may have seen. It is just a dip in the jet stream. If we sort of put this on here, you can see where the flow actually is sort of coming down more out of the northwest here. And folks, it's going to stay cold, and it's going to stay cold really for a good little while from the way things are looking. Now, the big story to talk about tonight is that we have a chance for our first accumulating snow of the year here on the weekend. So let's just talk about where we're at right now. High pressure is dominating now. It is what we call a dirty high. It's allowing plenty of cloud cover, so it's not an extremely strong high, and it's allowing plenty of cloud cover and some, and of course even those snow showers in. But eventually that'll work its way off to the east. That'll give us, it will have a few clouds around tomorrow, but we'll start to clear it out a little bit more than today. But by the time Saturday comes around, then is when we come the chance of seeing some increasing clouds again and the snow chances. Here we come by 7 o'clock on Saturday, and you can see a little bit of snow here off to our west moving in. The GFS wants to sort of break that apart. This is actually the brand new high-resolution GFS. It is a new experimental model that's going to become operational on December 17th. I'm liking it. I think it's performing better than the old GFS. But you can see as it comes in, it sort of breaks it apart just a little bit during that first wave due to that high pressure that's starting to move out of the way. Then we clear that out of here, and we've got yet another wave to move in by the time Sunday night comes. Here's Sunday at 7 p.m. Nothing going on for us yet, but as the overnight hours come in, you can see that snow, those snow bands start to move in as we go through. This is all due to more of a southern tracking system this time. The first time is a system that sort of moves in from our west. The second snow band that comes through on Sunday night into Monday morning, folks, according to this is going to be more of low pressure down to our south, sort of causing these things. And of course that snow band moves off. You can see it actually blows into a pretty big nor'easter and decent sized snowstorm for the northeast. Beyond that, though, you know what these blue lines mean. Whenever you get down deep into these blue lines, folks, the first blue line here is the rain snow changeover line. Once you get those lines progressively more and more south of you, that's just the brutal cold coming down over us. And with an Arctic high pressure moving in here, folks, early next week is just going to get ridiculously cold. I'm talking temperatures, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a single digit or so around the area, but I'm forecasting low teens for overnight lows a couple of nights next week, folks. It's going to get downright cold. European has a very similar look to this, different model site here, and so it looks a little bit different, but just to show you that, here's that first wave that moves through overnight on Saturday night into Sunday morning. You can see it paints more of a broad brush with that. That moves out, and then by the time Sunday evening comes, here's that low moving up from the south, and then here's that snow moving through us. So again, both of the big models are in agreement that we have some accumulating snow on the way. The real question is going to be how much we would end up getting out of this. Old GFS. Let me talk about the old GFS versus the new high-resolution GFS to give you some ideas. The old GFS not giving us much at all. By the way, this white here that you see is about a ½ inch, so don't think that is no snow at all. I don't particularly like the color table that this particular site uses, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, the old GFS here is showing roughly a ½ inch or so across the area. If you take a look to its brand new high-resolution GFS, the old GFS, keep in mind, is a 27-kilometer model. That means one little dot, one little pixel that you see on the chart here represents 27 kilometers in the spacing in the model and the resolution. The brand new one is 13 kilometers, and you can see, so it picks up on a lot finer detail. And take a look at the snow totals that the brand new high resolution GFS comes on, and it comes across with 1 to 2, maybe even 3 inches across the area. So that's something that we're going to have to watch on, and hopefully we'll be able to fine-tune these details tomorrow. The European model is even heavier, by the way. European model wants to pick up really a 2 to 4 or so swath across a good chunk of southern Indiana. So that, of course, is on the heaviest side of the snow totals. Not so fast the Canadian says we get next to nothing, maybe an inch, inch and a half or less across the area, and the bigger snow totals stay down here in Kentucky. So I point this out to show you folks, in the modeling there's a lot of disagreement right now. Hopefully over the next day or so we'll be able to fine tune these a little bit more, but just as a general guess right now, I don't think we're going to get quite as high of these totals as what the GFS is saying, as what the Euro is saying at this point. Now, I could see some more along the lines of the high-resolution GFS verifying. In general, kind of what I'm thinking of at this point is, again, the biggest chances for snow accumulation over Indiana are going to be sort of in this area here of the portion of the state, sort of south of Indianapolis. And I would say sort of at this point, kind of a 1 to 3 inch totals are what I would say as an early guess across the area. Now, some of us may end up with a little bit less than an inch off of this. So again, that's just an early guess. I'll have some official thoughts with the snow map released hopefully either tomorrow night or Saturday morning. I want to wait till we get some more better model agreement. The other thing is, right now the NAM model, which is another model that we use in the short term, only sees half of the storm right now. I want to wait until we get a couple of runs going on the NAM to see the full storm, to sort of see how it's going to handle us as well. But hopefully, again, we'll be able to fine-tune those tomorrow. Now, I will say this. Sometimes the models don't always pick up on the moisture that we see. Case in point today. None of the models really spit out as many of the flurries, the snow showers as we saw. It gave us the hint of some flurries, but it didn't really give us the idea of the snow showers that we saw today. Well, what happened today, if I sort of back up this in time, today what we saw is this positive vorticity move over the top of us, and this upper level vorticity in the mid layers of the atmosphere is sort of some spin in the atmosphere. It provides sort of a lifting mechanism, sort of, and let me just say that whenever some of these move over you, sometimes they can squeeze out more moisture than the model in the atmosphere than what the models are seeing. Well, that's exactly what's going to happen Sunday night. There's that positive vorticity moving over us, and that would be the triggering mechanism that's responsible for our snow showers. By the time you go through the day on Sunday, just a little bit into the area, but here you come during the overnight hours. That's when your vorticity is really starting to move back into the area. So if we get a decent amount of positive vorticity back in the area again, yeah, it's possible that maybe we do see a little bit more on the heavier side of the snow totals forecast. That is something that we're going to have to just sort of wait and see, but just as a warning, it is there, and there's a possibility. All right, let's talk about temperatures real quick as we finish up our video, folks, because temperatures, that's going to be the other big thing behind this. It's going to get downright cold. Here's what, let me show you just what the high resolution GFS is showing as far as temperature-wise over the next few days. On Saturday, we warm up to about 39 or so across the area, according to this. So it'll get a little bit warmer on Saturday, and that's nice. But temperatures will crash then, and by the time you wake up on Sunday morning, we're looking at temperatures in the low to mid 20s across the area. It warms up, according to the high-res GFS, into the low 40s, although I don't think it gets quite up that far. I'm only forecasting the upper 30s across the area. Still, any of that light snow snow accumulation in that first wave that moves in may have a chance to melt off on Sunday before the next wave moves in. And I really think Sunday nights is going to be the biggest wave where we could see the accumulations anyway. Notice, though, that by the time Sunday evening, 7 p.m. comes around, folks, we are already starting to go below freezing in the area as we continue on through the night. Here we are, well below freezing by the time you reach the morning, with temperatures in the low to mid 20s by the time you're waking up on Monday morning. And the temperatures aren't going to rebound much. Monday afternoon, the high-res GFS, folks, it's only forecasting a high in the mid 20s across the area. Overnight lows on Tuesday morning, look at this, temperatures in the low teens across the area, and then low temperatures on Wednesday morning, again even colder, with even colder low teens across the area. Folks, it's going to get downright cold. GFS Ensemble's temperature spread, it's going to get cold and stay cold for a while. Just take a look at this, folks. Here is your cold stretch, really, before you start to get back on the warming trend. And by the way, our average high is 55 degrees. We don't even reach what our normal high is supposed to be. We are a good 20 degrees plus below normal for a good chunk of what we're headed to really in for the next several days, folks. It's going to be downright cold. Towards Thanksgiving, though, we start to get another system that could produce some rain in, and that warms temperatures up. That'll be a refreshing change of pace, though, after what we've been. By the way, folks, I believe this is just a small preview of what winter is going to be like. Keep it tuned here to Southern Indiana weather all winter long, folks, because we are in for another rough one the way things look. Let's talk about your 10-day forecast, sponsored by the Smile Center. Go to southernindianaweather.com. Click on your 10-day forecast, and you can get this. You can also get this on our mobile app. It's available for Google Play and Android. Google Play is Android, I should say, the App Store on Apple iPhone as well. Just search for southernindianaweather.com and you'll be able to download it. It's a great little app, folks. You can get a lot of different things on there. Going down to about 21 degrees tonight with a few clouds around. I would say some flurries are going to stick around for a good little time tonight. I didn't include that into the forecast wording here, but no problems as far as accumulation or anything's concerned, but some light snow showers around the area. It's going to get cold. We don't warm up much tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be in the low to mid 30s across the area. By the way, I've changed the way I do my 10-day forecast as well, because I recognize that I cover a pretty broad area all the way from basically Bloomington to the Ohio River is the area that I'm covering officially for. So I've started, I'm going to continue to give a high temperature that I'm forecasting. These high temperatures are valid at the Southern Indiana Weather Office for what I'm forecasting for here in the DuBois County area where my office is, where I'm from. But folks, what I've done here is put high and low temperature ranges across the area. Obviously, it's going to be cooler in the north and warmer in the south typically, but low to mid 30s on Friday. Look at this. By the time Sunday hits, again, I think the snow holds off, just increasing clouds and a touch warmer on Saturday. I think we're going to go to the mid to upper 30s across the area, but the snow is likely on Saturday night. A light snow accumulation is possible, but again, if we get up to the upper 30s on Sunday, some of that will melt off a little bit. But we're going to dip down cold on Sunday night, and I think that's when the main brunt of the accumulating snow. And again, early estimates are 1 to 3 inches, and some of us with an inch or less. There's obviously going to be a cutoff somewhere. Exactly where that cutoff is still to be determined yet, but that's sort of the general range. A light accumulation type of an event, but enough to shovel potentially. We'll keep an eye on it. Most likely, I would think we're probably going to have some winter weather advisories issued for this in a matter of time. Look for those probably to come out from the National Weather Service on Saturday would be my guess. Then on Monday, take a look at this. Cold, folks. This is the coldest forecasted temperatures I've made since, probably what, March or April. Not even getting out of the 20s on Monday. Definitely not getting out of the 20s on Tuesday. Look at this. Monday night, 14. 10 degrees on Tuesday morning, folks. Arctic high pressure moves in, and it's going to be bitterly cold. If we get a decent snowpack and we get a nice surprise, these temperatures could go down even more. I don't think we rebound very fast. The modeling actually wants to take us to near the 40-degree mark on Wednesday, but almost all the models tend to push Arctic air masses out way too fast, usually a day or two early, so I've actually adjusted my temperatures down a little bit. I think we stay in the low 30s on Wednesday, upper 30s Thursday, and then finally we get back next weekend into the low 40s and even to the 50 mark as rain starts to move in. So We got some relief in sight, folks, but it's not until near the end of the 10-day period before we start to see that relief. It's just going to be downright cold any way you cut it, folks. So the bottom line is we're in the deep freeze across the nation. You take a look at a map like this. This is one of those times where you just say, I hate you, Florida, whenever you see the 70s down there. But we'll see that again, but not for a little while, folks. This air mass right here, it'll moderate by the time it gets down here to us just a little bit. But, folks, all that cold air, it's coming, folks, and it's going to be rough the next week or so. Keep it tuned right here to Southern Indiana weather over the course of the next few days and really all winter long, and we will keep you up to date. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great night, folks. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.